Hi guys, we're here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well. I'm here in the port of Cairnryan, which is like 4 or 5 miles or something like that from Stranraer up in Scotland. I'm on the way to Northern Ireland. Got some gigs lined up over the next 8 or 9 days, working for the council, and then do my usual work in some schools next week. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And it's a bit dark and cloudy, hopefully. Last few times I was on a ferry, it was stormy, it was terrible weather, and looks like it's going to be alright today, and sunny tomorrow. Right, I tell you, I'm going to talk about something else that's sunny. Well, for this particular individual, and that's Cole Palmer. I'm just going to talk a little bit about, why he left City and what he's doing since, how well he's doing. I mean, there's quite a few fans who, now that Cole Palmer's been quite successful, some City fans are saying, why did we sell him? He looks all right. He looks a fantastic young talent. A lot of opposition fans saying, why did you sell him? He's young and he's got such a bright future ahead of him. He's a starting player for Chelsea in their first 11. He takes their penalties. He's suddenly matured quite a lot after he's had some game time. These consistent regular games, and he's come on leaps and bounds, and he's now been drafted into the England squad. He's got a chance to go to the Euros next summer. So wow, meteoric rise for the young lad from, where's he from? Is it Wythenshawe? I think it's Wythenshawe off the top of my head. But I mean, it was Bernard keeps telling me he was a United fan, but he's been at City since he was a young kid, I think. And he came through our academy. I used to watch him play, and he was fantastic talent. When he came through at the same time as who else was it? There was Liam Delap coming through. I think the kid that's gone off to Sheffield United again, James McAtee. He was coming through. But Cole Palmer, wow, he did look the business. I mean, I think Liam Delap scored a ton of goals that season. I think Cole Palmer was the second top scorer in that particular league, not just for City, but in the league. He scored that many goals, and you used to see some fantastic finishes. He'd come in off the right onto his left foot. It's like a wand, that left foot, and just curl the ball into the far corner. He was tremendous to watch, and he's another one of these kids. You look at him and think, yep, this kid's going to go far. There's been a lot of kids at City who I've seen, and I think they'll go far. And I'm not saying I'm a good judge of anything. I'm not particularly a good judge, but they can't make it at City. A prime example, I mean, look at Jadon Sancho, right? He's bobbins now at United, but he couldn't get game time at City, so he decided up sticks, moved off to Dortmund, and he did really well at Dortmund and got that big money move to United. Look at Brahim Diaz. I watched Brahim Diaz play a few years ago, and I saw him and I thought, I remember going onto Facebook and said, this guy is going to be a star. This guy just reminded me of Messi, that low centre of gravity, that wonderful left foot, the dribbling prowess, the shooting and everything else. But again, he wasn't going to get a lot of game time at City. He went off to Real Madrid. It didn't work first time round. Went off to AC Milan, did all right. Then I think he went back to Madrid, and he's doing all right now. But what these kids... It's a bit like that. Let's give it a few seconds. Maybe let's walk away from that a little bit. Wow. Gives you a bit of a shock. Let's get in close and let's try and keep going. So yeah, what these kids need, they need, if you want to develop quickly, I'll give you another example while this fella's going on. Romeo Lavia. City thought they had something there, but he needed to develop. Playing in the under 23s EDS isn't really, it's football, but it's not really football, if you understand where I'm coming from. It's not like, in the old days when the reserve side, you'd have men's football. You'd have real men playing football, not just kids. And I think that's the difference. You'd have 2 or 3, let's say, older players who come out from injury or out of form or needed to get some game time because they were included in the main team. So you'd get proper men, basically, proper footballers, rather than just kids. So it's a totally different thing, men's football, from kids football, youth football. So these kids, they need game time.
that's what they need to develop even further and even faster. And as you've seen, these players have gone off to other clubs and they've developed very, very quickly. And it's the same with Cole Palmer. Look, Cole Palmer went through the similar path to Phil Foden. Similar path to Phil Foden. Let's walk down here and see if we can get away from it. There's noise. Just so you went through a similar path to Phil Foden. You know, first season not too many games, second season a bit more, third season a bit more. And that's how Phil went. You know, I think one of the big differences between Phil and Cole is Phil came through at the age of 17. Okay, so he has, I would suggest, a little bit more time to progress. You know, he's such a young age, whereas Cole Palmer came through at 19, and I think those 2 years probably made a bit of a difference because Cole Palmer's now 21. He needs to be out there playing. He needs to be doing that. And I think what really pushed him to make that move to Chelsea, I think there's many factors, definitely many factors. One factor is he wasn't getting a lot of game time. You know, he's getting a few minutes here, a few minutes there, but it wasn't really enough for him. He scored the goal in the Community Shield against Arsenal. He scored the goal in the Super Cup against Sevilla. And they were great goals, don't get me wrong, they were absolutely fantastic goals. We loved it, and I actually thought maybe he'll get a run in the side, but it wasn't to be. Now Pep said to Cole, he said, look, Riyad's leaving, you'll get your chances. But I mean, the way Pep frames it, it's like the kid was adamant to leave. I thought Cole Palmer was sticking out another season because he's been at City for so long and he can see what's happened to Phil. But you know, we carried on buying players. You know, we'd got obviously Grealish last season. We got Nunes. Oh, that was the end of the window. But you know, we were out there buying players. We got Kovacic. Doku turned up, and I don't know the timeline whether Doku came before Cole left. But at the time, Cole's looking at it and thinking, still, I mean, last season, okay, I understand it. Last season, you got in midfield and up front, City, you've got KDB, Gundogan, okay, Riyad Mahrez, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Alvarez was there, Haaland. So we've got so many players, and where does your man Cole Palmer fit into all that? It's very difficult to break through. So you think Mahrez is gone, Gundogan's gone, there's going to be more opportunities. Wow, he's doing it again. But they're bringing in, as I said, more top class talent. And obviously we were looking at Paqueta as well. You know, all right, different position, but look at it now. Look what we've got in midfield now. We've got Nunes, Kovacic, Rodri. We've got Bernardo Silva. Forgot him. We've got Bernardo Silva as well. It's Doku. You've got Grealish, Haaland, Alvarez. Too many players for 6 spots. For 6 midfield spots, too many players. And sometimes, if you're playing 4 at the back and pushing 1 through into midfield, it's swamping midfield. It's very, very difficult for Cole Palmer, even now, to get the consistent regular game time that he craves, and that's, I believe, the main reason for the move is to play regularly, and we've seen how quickly he's developed by playing regularly. So so he's done really, really well. I don't know what it's going to be a terrible video this on for sounding, isn't it? But Cole Palmer's done really, really well at Chelsea. He's scored 4 penalties. He's on penalty duties. That goal against City, where he's stepped up, you know, under tremendous pressure, 95th minute of the game, to get an equaliser, to get a 4-4 in an enthralling game against the club that you came through at. I mean, that's it. That took some guts, and he scores the goal, shrugs his shoulders, moves on. But I think, you know, you've got to accept this is what's going to happen with kids. We are going to end up selling kids for lots of money. Cole Palmer was 40-odd million quid. We're going to get a lot of money for these kids, and you know, if they can stick it out, maybe they would have made it. But there's nothing to say Cole Palmer would have made it at City. You know, another season of being a bit part player. As I said, we've got 7 or 8 midfielders to choose from, and Cole Palmer would just be one of them. Right now, who gets on your right hand side? It's Bernardo Silva. Yeah, you got Bernardo Silva, you got Doku, you got Foden, Alvarez, and Haaland. Where does Cole Palmer fit in? Bit part player. So I can truly understand why he left. I mean, I think Chelsea would have given him, I don't know the nature of the contract off the top of my head, but someone said to me 5 or 6 years, 5-year contracts. Let's say at City he was on 30 grand a week, maybe Chelsea are paying him 100 grand a week, 80 grand a week or something. And you can, finances do come into it. You look at it and say, 80 grand a week for 5 years, 4 million a year for 5 years, 20 million. That's Cole Palmer, really set up for life. That's Cole Palmer's mum and dad, set up for life for his family, set up for life. I mean, you're making that sort of money, and all right, you got tax and everything else, but at that 20, he'll be seeing 7 or 8 million quid because he's got agents and all that. But other things are, you're going to get obviously image rights and endorsements, boot deals and all that other stuff. So he's going to make a lot of money out of this move. So, for many reasons, I can't blame him. Would I have preferred him to stay at City? Too damn right. I would have loved him to stay at City and come through and proven himself and proven to, just prove to everybody else what we City fans knew all along, that he's a top talent, wonderful left foot, gifted young boy. But hey, he's a Chelsea player now. I'm not going to slag him off or have a pop or anything like that. I wish him well. He's left City, and you wish him well for the rest of his career. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, Blues.